Mike?
Darvin, for everything in that game and how incredible it was both ways. Just how about Lonnie Walker in the fourth quarter? He hadn't scored up to that point, hits the three, ends up getting 15 points. Where did you find the trust to bring him back into the lineup, and what did you think as you watched that tonight?
You know, as I've stated before, not only do you have to be on your P's and Q's, you know, dotting your I's, crossing your T's defensively, but another element that you have to do versus this phenomenal Warriors team. I mean, I just told the team in the post-game speech, there's no other team on earth that plays the way they play and put you in like precarious positions that they do. They play with such speed and east, west, north, south, their IQs, I mean, their chemistry, their rhythm, and when they're hitting like they were during, especially the second and third quarters, you know, it's daunting. But one of the elements of trying to, you know, stay close and hopefully come up with the victory is also keeping the scoreboard moving on your side. And, you know, we had an unfortunate loss up there, 27-point deficit, but going into that fourth quarter, you know, you kind of start thinking smart, thinking with your head and not your heart. How can you, you know, build up some equity for the following game? And that comes in the form of resting, you know, your heavy minute guys and just, I want to say throwing in the towel, but really just being realistic with yourself about what the outcome is going to be. It's their night, so we look for different ways how we can get better or find something, and that was the case. Lonnie came in, played well, and let me just back up and say this, man. The kid is a beautiful kid. You know, he fell out of the rotation through no fault of his own. We make the trade, you know, he had an injury, and it's just a lot of different circumstances, and that wasn't his fault. But he remained a trooper, remained professional, remained high-spirited, positive, and really kept working on his game, attacking his game every day, really staying locked in on the information, especially during these playoffs up to the point where, you know, he was able to crack the rotation. And, you know, when your mind and your heart is in a good place, the body follows. And I've seen a ton of kids play with them, coached them, where, you know, there's nothing but negative because their individual circumstances aren't what they would hope them to be. And then when they do get an opportunity unexpectedly, they fail miserably. And so kudos to him, shout out to him. You know, he was huge for us tonight. Our team captains talking through coverages, matchups, LeBron in particular, just everybody, the dialogue, you know. We get frustrated because we know we could be doing things better. And the one thing we did, you know, I think it was 6:02 on the clock, fourth quarter, Bron said, come on, man, whatever's done is done. From this point forward, let's go be great. Let's be great. And so the guys, all of us, everyone over there heard that message, and they came out, and we had some unfortunate turnovers late. We had some unfortunate shots go in on their end, but we just kept going possession by possession, next play mentality, and stayed as aggressive as we could and try to put ourselves in a position to be successful, and we were able to do that. But Lonnie Walker is right in the middle of all of that.
Darvin, I wanted to know your thoughts on LeBron's fourth quarter performance in particular. You start the quarter down 7. He orchestrates that 7-0 run. You tried to get him a blow. He might have been on the bench for 10 seconds.
Right.
And then he's there to close it out, playing 43 minutes total. Just how did he help organize you guys, lead you guys down the stretch?
I mean, we spent a big chunk of the halftime looking at different clips, our transition defense, our pick and roll defense. We talked through matchups. They gave their input, and you have to listen to your players. Like, absolutely. I mean, I remember a time in the NBA where it was more of a dictatorship, and I've been around and played for some stubborn coaches, but I won't say any names, but and worked with some stubborn coaches. But you got to listen to your players, man. In team sport, things got to be collaborative, man. Whether it's the video room guys, whether it's your assistant coaches, whether it's your players, guys that are looking at the game in an honest and genuine way and trying to give you the best possible route that leads to success. And Brian did that, as well as went out there and put the team on his back for several possessions and just got it done. And again, doing what he always does, and, you know, play winning basketball. And you know, when Lonnie got it going, trying to find Lonnie and just, everybody's so excited for the kid. But Bron is definitely, he is who he is for a reason. And, tonight that was on full display.
Darvin, we've seen the chess match between LeBron and Steph before, where LeBron will call up whoever Steph is defending to kind of come into the action for pick and roll. We saw that a lot tonight in the fourth. What did you think of the chain reaction of that and the way Golden State had to kind of scramble to help him and the fouls he picked up and just how effective that was down the stretch?
I think it opens up backside, off-ball lanes, passing lanes, driving lanes, because they know, they want to protect Steph. And so if he's involved in that on-ball action, whether he's guarding the ball handler or the screener, they're going to be on high alert, and they're going to be shifted in to try to give support. And, our guys, they just have to be disciplined, and they were, stay space, and be ready to attack. And the only times we really got in trouble, times we just held the ball too long, didn't go to the next thing immediately or come running into a secondary or third screen. But all in all, we were able to use that and be really, really effective. Whether it was Bron handling and bringing Steph up guarding the screener, whether it's Bron screening with Steph on the ball, it's just, the way we had to attack and also play downhill and not settle. But it was great. That's just, again, figuring out a way. As the game go on, you got to figure out a way. And you keep marching towards your ultimate goal, which is a W. And, we're very fortunate to get this game tonight.
Darvin, Austin is another one of your role players that plays well for you guys again tonight. Are you more surprised by what he does, or is this what you expect? And how is he doing physically?
I mean, I'm not surprised at all. He had some misses early. How many turnovers did Austin have tonight? Just 2. But, it's his first time. His first time through, and he's doing a great job battling through the ups and downs, trying to stay aggressive, stay focused, stay locked in, not getting down on himself. And, the whole locker room is supportive of everyone, whether it's Lonnie, whether it's Austin, whether it's Bron. Everybody's really on the same page, being supportive and giving positive energy if they see a guy, having some tough moments. But Austin, I expect him to be fearless as always, and he was. It was times that he didn't have some not so good moments, but him being a trooper, I pulled him over and I told him, stay aggressive. And I said, a couple of those shots you're catching, a couple of those passes, you got to be ready to shoot. And the very next play, I swear, the ball came to him and he just threw it up there like it was nothing, second nature, and it went right through the rim. So he just has to stay fearless, stay aggressive, stay locked in like he's always been. He'll make it through the rough patches of different segments of the game. But again, he's having a ball in his first playoff run.
Hey, Darvin. You said you've seen guys fail miserably when they've fallen out of the rotation and then they have their big moment. Did you see signs before tonight that Lonnie would respond the way he did?
Absolutely. We talk. He's always positive, and you see him work. When other guys may have, we have these days we call get what you need days. Well, for him, the low, no-minute guys, they go in there and we have a stay ready group that is orchestrated by one of my assistants, in front of the bench coach, Jordan Ott. And a lot of coaches are there just looking at and seeing what the approach is. And he goes in there upbeat, and he has great days in the stay ready group where they play 4-on-4, 5-on-5, sometimes it's 3-on-3. Coaches will jump in with him, and he just kept himself together and stayed positive, stayed supporting his teammates. And again, that karma, that good, productive, positive karma, it's real. Whatever you put out in the world, it's a 360-degree existence that we live in. And whatever you put out goes full circle. It's either go come back and slap you in the face or come back and hug you. And so, the energy he put out, he came back and hugged them and hugged us because we needed all of that.
That was nice. A lot of hugging. So, when you're the all-time leading scorer, yeah, no problem. When you're the all-time leading scorer in this league, like you put teams on your back plenty of times over that career, but at this stage for LeBron, now that he doesn't have to, maybe necessarily with this team, how does that allow him to do things like switch onto Steph for huge chunks of the fourth, and do you sense in him total trust, especially in these playoffs, and allowing other guys to step forward into the light a little bit?
I mean, I just think, you know, the type of talent that we were able to surround he and AD with, from the guys who are already here, Dennis, Austin, these guys, Lonnie, Troy, to the guys we brought in, you know, all the new guys, AD in that mix, you know, Bron and AD. I think they have an opportunity to not have to dictate each and every possession. And we try to get them the ball as much as possible, but there are times where, as you've seen with Austin Reeves, you've seen with Lonnie, you've seen with D'Lo, Dennis, Rui, other guys step up and they start making plays. And these guys their eyes are wide open and they allow themselves to be led, not only coached, but led by the guys, the elder statesmen that are in their locker rooms. And those guys in the locker room with them, leading those guys, our two captains, Bron and AD, who've been through several wars. So I just think it's a matter of fact of him understanding that now he has a lot of gas left in the tank. Thus, as you saw, him coming out the game and then going right back in 15 seconds later. But he when it's money time, like, you know, I've seen it coached against him when he's been in that mode, and you know, it's just special. You know, there's not too many guys, not just in the league, but in the history of the league, that's able to not just perform well individually, but talk their teammates through situations and communicate with the coaches and put us in the best possible position to be successful.
Hey, Darvin, since you've been in the league as a player and coach, you've seen a lot of the great defensive players. So just wondered if you could put AD's postseason so far into context, and even specifically those last couple plays, sticking with Steph out in the perimeter and the way that he can dance. Again,
his versatility, man. He can defend laterally, vertically. His communication on the back line, his communication up when he has to, again, as you mentioned, switch onto a smaller guard, a superior perimeter threat such as Steph, who can also play downhill and make plays at the rim for his teammates. It's huge. And you know, he's been locked in on that end. Coming into the season, you know, that's all he talked about was being elite defensively. And telling me constantly, I can read, coach. I can read. I can move my feet. I can read. And so he showed that tonight. And just to everybody, man, they the team D, the multiple efforts, again, we had a tough second and third quarter defensively, but the first and the fourth, we set a good tone defensively. Things got a little shaky coming out of halftime, but then the fourth quarter when it was time, we stepped up and were able to get stops.
Coach, basically at the trade deadline right in the front, you guys got a brand new team, and that's not easy for a head coach to deal with, getting 6 new players at one time. But yet now you're 1 game away from the conference finals. Why has it worked?
Just the buy-in, man, and starting with Bron and AD. At the end of the day, man, I think they sat back and watched the way, we had some tough moments early in the year to start the season and went through several. I can't remember how many different starting lineups we had. I think we set a record. It was 37 or 38 last time I checked, somewhere like that. But I think the consistency of the coaching staff, the energy that they brought to the gym every day, and just a mentality to get better, and just talking through different things in our film sessions. And then once, we flipped the team, so to speak, at the deadline, those guys welcoming those new guys in, and they become virtual coaches in terms of talking to their teammates and sharing the terminology and sharing how we want to defend, how we want to play offense, and the constant film study. So I just think it's been everybody to buy in, but it starts with your star players, man. Like Bron and AD, they've been great for me all year, and I'm not, my pride and ego is null and void. Like, I just want to go about doing things the right way, and as long as the information is on point that we're getting, no matter if it's coach to coach, player to coach, coach to player, player to player, just as long as we're on the same page and we're consistent with our message and what we're trying to do and extract out of our defense and our offense, I'm good. Like I don't have to be the one to take the credit. And I know those guys in that locker room, they're the same way. We just want to put ourselves in a position to get W's, and it's going to be a tough one going up north. That game on Wednesday, going to be another dogfight. You can expect another dogfight. That's a prideful team. They're the defending champs for a reason. And so all of us are going to have to make sure we're on the same page and locked in.
Darvin, knowing your background, how much you love the defensive end of the floor, you wanted this team to hang its hat on that end. Just how much are you enjoying the way this team is comporting itself?
I just think the relentlessness, man, it brings a smile to my face, make me feel fuzzy and warm. Just the relentlessness, man. You know, I happen to be a part of as a player, one of the all-time greatest defenses I think the NBA's ever seen, the 03-04 Pistons. You know, holding people under 70 points for an entire game. Just being around Ben Sheed, Chauncey, Rip, Tayshaun, Mike James, Lindsey Hunter, all these guys, Elden Campbell, Corliss, Mehmet, like all of these guys were totally focused on that end of the floor. It wasn't pretty most nights, but we figured out a way, and a lot of it was due to our getting stops and coming from Atlanta, Milwaukee, you know, the type of system we had under Coach Bud, it was the same type of deal. So that's one of the first things I wanted to check the box on, our competitiveness, us being together, and us being accountable. And it all starts on the defensive end. That gives you a chance each and every night.
I'm sure these guys don't need reminders that the fourth one is the hardest one to get, but last series in Game 5 in Memphis, is that something that's fresh enough in their minds that maybe it'll serve as a reminder?
I mean, I just think the monster that we're dealing with in the Golden State Warriors is we don't have to look back to Memphis. And we already know how hard it is to close teams out, so we just have to go up there, make sure we're all on the same page, make sure our competitive spirit is at an all-time high, togetherness is at an all-time high. It's going to be a hostile environment. I'm looking forward to it, but it's definitely going to be a battle. You know, we just want to go up there and do what we need to do to be the best versions of ourselves, and between now and then, fill our cups back up and get ready to go rock and rumble.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Locker room is open. Lonnie.
If you got a question over here, Tim.
Steve, that last play down 3, was it for Draymond to fake the dribble handoff? Was that the kind of maybe look to the corner? What was the kind of play idea?
It's a play we've run quite a bit before. It's got multiple options in it, so there's 3 or 4 different options. We had time for a quick 2. We're down 3, but 15 seconds, and we had another timeout left in our pocket. So it's a play where you can get a quick 2 or maybe a 3 if it's open. We just didn't execute. They played good defense, too.
And then on the jump ball, Steph comes down with it.
Yeah.
Did you, I mean, could have called timeout there? Were you trying to call timeout?
I tried, yeah. And I was yelling timeout, but he lost control of the ball so quickly that didn't get the call.
Yeah, Steve, Clay obviously wants it so bad, but did you feel like he forced those last 2 shots there, those 3-pointers?
Yeah, I trust Clay. I mean, think of everything that he's done for this team. So part of who he is he's going to fire away. And there were a couple late that he probably would like to have back. But that's it's part of who we are as a team. We're gonna fire. If Steph or Clay gets an opening, they're gonna let it go, and they've had a ton of success over the years. Obviously, they both had some looks down the stretch, but give the Lakers credit. They played good defense, and we couldn't get anything to go.
Steve, you've been down 3-1, I think 2 times in this run. Anything you tell them that's different? Does it feel similar maybe to an Oklahoma City 3-1 or Toronto 3-1?
It feels like what it is. 3-1, you go home and you take care of business and you get a win, and the momentum is right back in your favor. So that's all it is. You don't, somebody has to win 4 times, and that's why you play it out. Lakers did a great job of holding serve here and winning this game. coming back in the fourth quarter to take it. So now it's we got to go back and get a win at home and flip the momentum.
Steve, I was just going to ask with the play where Draymond, it was a turnover, and I think AD jumped the passing lane. Was that supposed to do something else, or did AD just kind of jump into that lane there?
There were multiple options on the play, so it just didn't work out.
Steve, you mentioned you giving up that lead in the fourth. Just what did you see transpire throughout the fourth quarter that allowed the Lakers to get back into this?
Well, Lonnie Walker came in and made a huge impact. I think I don't know if he scored all those points in the fourth. It felt like it, but that's a lot of times that's what the playoffs are about. Close game and somebody coming into the game who you don't expect to make an impact, and that player. Makes a bunch of shots, makes some big plays, and so I thought the fourth was about Walker, and it was about, I think we had 3 or 4 illegal screens called, and that was disappointing. I didn't get a look at the replay on any of them, but there were a couple that were very disappointing just live. But the Lakers are they're a team that plays with a lot of gamesmanship. They understand, how to generate some calls. I thought they took some flops and were rewarded. But I'll have to see the replays. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe those were all illegal screens, but didn't feel like it watching it live.
Steve Jordan, I think, only played 10 minutes and didn't play in the fourth quarter at all. This is just not the right kind of style of game for him. Why did you go away from it?
It just wasn't his night. He didn't have it going, and it's a game where you're going possession by possession, and we had other guys who were playing well. Moses came in, did a great job, and Dante gave us good minutes. Gary, obviously, starting the game. Really gave us a lift. So it was just, we went to other guys. It doesn't mean Jordan can't come in and play a big role in Game 6 or Game 5.
And Steve, Steph was really aggressive going to the hoop. Looked like he had a different little mindset today. He put up a triple-double. What did you think about the effort he had tonight?
Steph was amazing. His effort was incredible. Just the stamina, with everything they were throwing at him to do what he did and attack and rebound and distribute the ball. 14 assists and 2 turnovers. He was amazing. We just couldn't quite get it done.
Steve, given that Lonnie Walker was going off in the fourth quarter, was there a thought for other defensive options to try and slow him down?
No.
GP only played 2 minutes, I was wondering.
Yeah. Gary started the fourth. We went to Moses to get another shooter on the floor. So we stayed with that lineup for the two-way capabilities.
You look at this game as a game you played pretty well and can take some things from this into the next game?
Yeah, we played well. For the most part, we defended without fouling. We held them to 20 free throws. I thought we took care of the ball for the most part, most of the game, and kept them in the half court. They didn't get a lot of transition opportunities. So all in all, it was a pretty solid effort, and a game we obviously very easily could have won, but we didn't. So we just got to go watch the film and see what we can do differently, and go home and take care of business.
And you went with Gary, obviously, in the starting lineup. Did you get what you wanted from him? He clearly seemed to be pretty effective out there.
Yeah. Gary made a great impact on the game, guarding D'Angelo, and then also his screening and diving, and then they changed their matchups, a little bit in the second half, which changed some of the things we did offensively. It was a great basketball game. It's a hell of a team down there, and our guys are defending champs. It's a great series, and there's a long way to go. Thanks.
Thank you. We'll have Steph.
Gary, I'm here in the back. When you get the start, what are you thinking heading into a game? What are you tasking yourself with?
Nothing, just be myself. Had an idea what they was going to do and who they was going to put on me, so just getting back to normal, just go set the ball screen and roll, and then, if I get it, make a play.
There were so many runs. When you guys built your run, the Lakers had a response and vice versa. When there's not a lot of separation on the scoreboard, ultimately, what do you think this game came down to?
Just possessions, We just got to capitalize on possessions. You can make turnovers, just got to capitalize, in transition. I think that, like you said, it was just back and forth runs, just whoever can, outlast, the run and, get stops.
Gary, what's the mood in the locker room after a loss like this?
It's still positive, we know we have them, down the line. We just got to make one more run, late, and you just create that space and opportunity. Like I said, we just got to capitalize on, when we get turnovers in transition, just capitalize on, finishing the possession.
Gary, how you feeling? You left at one point in the first quarter. You headed for the locker room. Everything okay there?
No, yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Hey, Gary, you guys were down 0-2 last series. You came back. You're down 3-1 now. Just what gives you confidence to be able to come back and, respond on Wednesday or Thursday?
We got a lot of heart in this team and a lot of fight. So back against the wall, we got to come out swinging. So we got a lot of guys right here that, is ready and stay ready. So we just got to come out and hit first.
Gary, from your perspective, what's been going on with Jordan in these recent games?
Nothing. Being Jordan, shots are not falling. So, he's still with us. He's still, locked in games. He's got to see one go through, I think, and, Jordan be back. But Jordan's completely fine. He's still locked in and, ready to go.
Gary, Steph had a triple-double tonight. You were the beneficiary of many of his assists. What were you seeing from him out there?
Everything, as I can see. But no, that's what he does. He's a floor general. You take one thing away from him, and he figures out the way to, get his team involved. As you can see, he can still score the ball. So he does a bit of everything. He leads us, and, we just try to make it easier for him. Oh, you guys are great.
Cool, thank you. Definitely great.
Hey, Lonnie, you hadn't taken a shot prior to that three that started the fourth quarter, go on to score 15 points. Can you just take us through how you kept yourself kind of emotionally steady there, what you were thinking, and how that built to the point where you were kind of carrying that offensive load throughout the period?
Truthfully speaking, I'm a scorer mentality first, so first shot in the fourth, first shot in the first, it don't really mean any difference to me, honestly. I've been shooting a lot of shots my entire life, so I got a lot of confidence in myself. I know my value. I know what I'm capable of doing, and by the grace of God and a lot of hard work and sacrifices and time, in the gym, the fruition kind of came today.
Lonnie, what does it feel like to have a moment like this after obviously not being in the rotation the last couple months, and then to come in the way you did, Game 3, impact the game on both ends, then have a moment like this where you kind of take over in the fourth?
The greatest feeling you can ever imagine. As a kid, this is something I've been dreaming of doing, not just being a part of the playoffs, but impacting it, yet alone winning the playoffs. And I'm truly proud of myself. It really shows my capabilities and just my mental fortitude. I think the hardest thing of being able to play a lot and then not playing at all is sticking with it. There's a lot of uncontrollable things that you can't control. And you just got to take it day to day, stack the days, and every single day you're trying to be better than who you were yesterday. So that's what I'm always trying to accomplish, is just reach my best self.
Dave?
Lonnie, I'm trying to find the exact timing on it, but the pull-up you made to put you guys ahead, I think Steph might have been on you. Just can you talk us through your mentality and the difficulty of that shot, and whether the rhythm you were in at that point of the fourth quarter can give you some gusto in attempting that shot?
It just comes with a lot of confidence. I made a couple other shots prior to that, and I think my confidence was for sure at an all-time high. When you have your coaches instilling in you to give him the ball, and LeBron being able to give me the ball, and multiple people, allowing me to just play my game, has given me the utmost confidence to just do what I have to do. So it's probably a difficult shot for others, but it really isn't a difficult shot for me.
Taylor? I'm sorry, Bill.
Yeah, after the game, LeBron and AD met you at midcourt and said something to you. Can you talk about what you all talked about?
Just being a true pro. weathering the storm, learning how to dance in a storm, and just how happy they are for me. Like I said, there's things that are uncontrollables. I got injured, fell out of the lineup, fell out of playing, but I stuck with it. I stayed in the gym, still being a great teammate, and just being a professional. So I think most importantly, it was just to give me gratitude on how hard it is to do what I done did, but just being proud of what I did today too.
Taylor.
Hey, Lonnie. Over here. We saw all your teammates huddle up around you after the game. What did that moment mean to you? And, they've had confidence in you all season. What does that mean?
It means a lot. I really can't put it into words, just truly ecstatic to be in this situation alone. But to have my teammates be there with me through thick and thin, understanding, what it is, and it's a great feeling, honestly. I'm really going to cherish this day and soak it all in.
Malika?
Lonnie, the feelings that you're talking about, the stage that you're playing on, oftentimes guys say that the hardest games to win are the closeout games. So this game as a building block from the last game, what did you learn that you're trying to take into this situation up in Golden State?
Just, understanding why I'm on the floor and understanding my role. Playing against Steph and Clay and Poole, you got to really be disciplined defensively. And I think I was doing a really good job guarding Clay, a really good job guarding Poole. And that kind of transfers over to my offensive flow. So the harder and harder and just a lot of effort on the defensive end, I just stuck with it. I'm a role player at the end of the day, and I got to do what I got to do for my team to win. All the little things, playing great defense, rebounding, taking charges, whatever it may be. So understanding my role most importantly, but, understanding my value and who I am right now and what I'm yet to become.
Nikki?
Lonnie, the dancing through the storm, the stick with it mentality you've been talking about, at what point in your career as a professional did you learn that that was who you were?
All my life. Growing up wasn't hard. Always adversities. And in every single level that I've encountered with has always had a lot of adversities, if not a lesson that God was trying to teach me. And I think that's the most important thing is trying to better yourself every day. It's not going to be all flowers and lollipops and good and stuff. There's going to be hard times, and that's just God's ultimate test to make you learn something in order to get to your goals. So, this is nothing new. I understand that this is just building blocks. I got to continue to go. I'm going to embrace it today, but tomorrow's a new day, and we got to worry about the next game ahead.
Dan?
Lonnie, what does it say to you that this postseason, you guys have superstar leaders in AD and LeBron, but you've got Austin in Game 1 in Memphis, yourself tonight, Rui at times, that it's been spread like that. What does that say about the D-Lo? What does it say about this group and the way that you guys play?
We are deep, to say the least. We have a lot of firepower offensively, and we have some great defenders on the defensive side, and Vando and AD and stuff. So I think we have all the great pieces to be great. We just got to take it day to day, continue to watch film and, continue to grow. Yet again, this is a whole new team compared to how we started in the beginning of the season. Trades happen, and the fact that we meshed and have chemistry this quick and, we're doing so well in the playoffs really speaks for itself. So, we got a lot of players that can put the ball in the hoop and play the right way, so we're just going to keep on doing what we're doing.
Last two, Melissa and then we'll end with Mark.
Hey, Lonnie, when you fell out of the rotation, Darvin talked about just what a great attitude you had. And you'd always show up to work every day and, 3-on-3, 5-on-5 at the facility, work as hard as you could. What was going through your mind during that time? How did you maintain such a positive attitude?
I'm only 24. This chapter in my life is only one chapter of many. And understanding that I'm trying to reach my best self most importantly. When I was a kid, I always wondered how I would be when I'm 24. And I wonder what I'm going to be when I'm 30 or 45. And that all comes with stacking the days day by day and reaching my best self first and foremost. If I'm not giving it 100%, then that's selfish on my side because I'm giving everyone else 60, 70, 80%. So truth be told, it might sound narcissistic or whatnot, but I'm in love with myself and I want to be my best self. So, You know, and I think that's the greatest prize of it all is that, you know, I'm ambitious and I'm eager to be where LeBron and AD and, you know, become a star.
Lonnie, how did you see AD take on the approach with the challenge of doing what he normally does, but against a smaller lineup that the Warriors unveiled?
He does a terrific job day in and day out. His presence offensively and defensively it's a beautiful thing to watch. You know, when people talk about the greatness of AD, I've always said that he was great, but being able to watch it one-on-one, night in and night out, game by game, it's mesmerizing. I mean, that guy's a living unicorn. So I'm truly grateful to have him on my side, most importantly, and I know he's going to continue to rise to the occasion.
Thanks, Lonnie. You should be in love with yourself. You're not in love with yourself. Mike, you have a question for LeBron, okay? LeBron, when you're ready.
LeBron, just over the course of your playoff career, you've had a lot of players step up in different spots. I wondered what was special about Lonnie Walker tonight, especially in that fourth quarter.
I think it's self-explanatory, obviously, how special he was in the fourth quarter. You know, he had 15 of our 27 points. But just more importantly, just like, you know, my career, my 20-year career, I've seen a lot of young guys kind of lose confidence in themselves or lose themselves if they've, you know, been in a rotation or started or had big minutes on the team, and then they get taken out of the lineup, you know, because of certain situations or circumstances, whatever the case may be, and they just completely lose themselves, you know. And, you know, for him to be a young guy in this league and just consistently every single day showed up, been a professional, great energy, you know, high character, it showed why he was able to, you know, throw everything to the side and just be him tonight in that moment. And, you know, the game ball definitely goes to him. We don't win without him.
Dave?
LeBron and AD, if I could get both your perspective on the communication between both of you on the defensive sequence where Draymond had the ball late in the game, you guys end up with, you know, getting the ball without the Warriors getting a shot off.
Which one? When Steph threw it out of bounds? That one?
No, Draymond throws it baseline.
Oh, yeah.
So I got the steal.
On the hammer action.
Yeah, they were trying to run the hammer action for Clay. At that point, I think we were switching everything, just us communicating. When I seen, I think it was Wiggs set the hammer action for Clay. Just read it and just taking him out, not even paying attention to the ball, and I just turned around and ball was there. So that's our defensive communication.
Yeah, I think the best thing that happened was that actually what ended up happening is that me and AD was in action. You know, we've been in enough actions where we can communicate to be able to, you know, figure out the.
Except the Minnesota play-in.
I was going to mention that.
I try not to bring it up.
Guys, I'm curious, with the energy that you're expending on the defensive end in this series and in the last series as well, how important has it been for you guys to have, whether it's Austin in game one, Lonnie tonight, there's been D'Lo moments, to have these other guys, what kind of trust do you have in them on the offensive end of the ball to kind of allow you guys to, in the fourth quarter, for instance, you know, take on one-on-one assignments with Steph?
Yeah, that's what it's about. And, you know, me and Brian gonna do our parts. But it's the other guys that's gonna help us win. And like you say, it's Austin, D'Lo, Lonnie tonight, Vando, you know, making shots, playing well defensively. So them are the guys that's gonna help us go where we want to go. And you know, we don't try to put too much pressure on ourselves. We have trust in all our other guys. Like I said, we kept putting the ball in Lonnie's hands, running pick and roll, and let him, you know, make the reads and make the plays. And he played well tonight. But you know, we have a lot of trust in our guys, and you know, trust that they're going to make the right play.
We're going to take three more. We have to get out of here pretty quickly. So, Jovan.
Question for LeBron. We've seen the kind of chess match with you trying to draw Steph into actions, you know, late in games for years now. You did that a lot in the fourth tonight, and they were kind of trying to pre-switch it, but you kind of be deliberate and patient with it. Why did the fourth quarter kind of feel like the time to do that, and why was that so effective for you guys on the stretch?
I mean, just reading the game, just figuring out best ways we can be effective offensively. And, we felt like that was an opportunity for us to try to get some good looks. Obviously, that was what we went to, and we was able to be successful in a lot of those possessions in the fourth. There's a couple of them, I wish I could have had back. But for the majority of the quarter, we was able to, get some good looks, with using either, me handling the ball, with Lonnie setting it, or whoever Steph's man was, or me just setting pick and rolls onto Steph and seeing how they react to that. But, I mean, listen, they were doing the same thing to us from the beginning of the game. Steph was literally playing angle pick and roll, targeting guys all night long, and you got to sit down and defend. And I think both teams did that tonight. I mean, we shot 46. We shot 45. They shot 46. We was 24 from 3%. They was 29. So both teams defended at a high level. That's what the postseason is about.
Last two. Both of you guys took the time to embrace Lonnie after the game. What was your guys' message to him in that moment?
He always, I know he said last game that, he always dreamt of these moments of him playing in the playoffs and big games. And that was really it, just telling him, this is what he was built for. The moment he's been waiting for, and he shined. He did what he was supposed to do. He did what he knew he could, staying ready. This is why he put in all the work. Whether he's not playing, he go through a stretch of games where he start and then he doesn't play. And he always stayed mentally prepared and physically prepared to check in and do what he do. So, we right there with him. He's always supporting us, whether he's playing or not. Great energy, and it was a big time performance for him tonight. So we just wanted to embrace him and let him know that.
Last question, Malika.
You're both champions. You've both been in this position before where you're going into the hardest game, the elimination game, and it was sweet, Lonnie sitting up here saying, well, I hope to be in their shoes one day. We look towards them to sort of set the tone for the rest of us. What are you both communicating from top on down, sorry, Amara, to close us out in Golden State?
Well, we had a little experience in, round one, and, went on the road and then play up to our abilities in Game 5 in Memphis. And so, to be able to have a little bit of experience. Every game for us is another opportunity for us to experience something that we just haven't had as a group. We're a relatively young group. And you look at the teams in the postseason, besides us, I mean, you got Phoenix. They added a couple new guys, but their team kind of been assembled for the last few years. Obviously, Denver's been together for years, Miami, New York. We're Golden State. So we're every game for us throughout this postseason has been an opportunity for us to grow and see how we can be better. So tonight was another moment, and whenever we play, I know it's every other day. I don't even know what today is, but whenever Game 5 is, it'll be another opportunity for us to continue to grow as a ball club. And so I think we'll be ready. I mean, one thing about when you play Golden State, you don't have an opportunity to relax. You just don't. So I'm not worried about us going in there comfortable. You just can't do it versus Golden State. It's not possible.
Sorry.
Night, fellas.
Steph, this team's you've been down 3-1 a couple times, but does it all feel similar to this? Do you use that, or is this kind of a unique situation to be down 3-1 right now?
You definitely use it as confidence that we can, figure this out. Obviously, just focus on winning Game 5 and take it from there. You can't fast forward to the end, but we have a lot of confidence in our ability to take the good things from tonight and protect our home court. So that's all you can do right now. Got to maintain positivity, and how tough this was tonight, but long way to go.
Steph, where do you feel like the game turned tonight?
You said what?
Where do you feel like the game turned tonight?
I mean, Lonnie hit some big shots for him when they were kind of searching a little bit. We had good looks that didn't go in, and we fought down all the way to the last second in terms of trying to give ourselves a chance to steal a win. And they fourth quarter, we only scored 17 points, and that's a tough way to finish. Had to look at, I always say you got to look at the film to see exactly where, defensively they made adjustments. But, we had a lot of good looks that, we have a lot of confidence in the shots we're taking, and got to live with it.
Steph, obviously you've had many, rough shooting nights here against the Lakers. How did the shots feel, though? You felt like every other part of your game was in good rhythm. Did the three-point shot feel like it was in rhythm, too?
For sure. Like I said, I got a lot of confidence in my ability to knock down shots, especially volume. And a lot of them were back rim, which for me means you got good legs, good lift. Just didn't go down. Obviously, we ran a lot of pick and rolls, so I had the ball in my hands a lot, which I'm very comfortable with those looks. Just trying to make reads, whether it's a shot for me or trying to create, but I'm rocking with them.
The last, I guess session, the two shots you had against AD, what were the looks you were trying to go for, and did you think the three was good when it left your hands?
Absolutely. The first one was, they switched, and you kind of can see the second layer of defense, obviously knowing he's 7 foot and got, crazy, reach. So you just want to create a little bit of separation. The first one, nice little step back. It was in and out. It felt good. Second one was a little rush, but a shot that I took it because I thought I could make it. So, like I said, I'm living with those, and hopefully we can put ourselves in a position where, in Game 5 we can control momentum as much as possible down the stretch. And again, if those shots are there, you're going to take them again.
Steph, I don't know if those scratches on your face are new, but can you talk about the level of physicality that you were being defended with in that fourth quarter?
It was on both ends, and it's exactly how playoff basketball is supposed to be. They were trying to bring me in a lot of pick and rolls, especially with Bron. And then on the other end, just trying to send one body to you, and then on the second layer of defense, having somebody, waiting in the paint kind of vibe. But it's playoff basketball. It's what you love. It's what you live for. And, that level of intensity there's nothing like it. So you embrace it all, even the scratches.
Steph, the jump ball, you up and get it. You go to the ground. Were you thinking any more timeout there, or did you think the clock was running out? Just give me your thought process there.
Yeah, I didn't realize how long much time it went off. I was in the air coming down, how long I was on the ground. I felt like somebody was behind me and kind of just let it go, but bang, bang play. I wish I had a little bit more awareness to maybe call a timeout knowing we had enough time, but it just didn't go our way.
Jordan Poole is obviously a really big part of last year's title run, and this postseason he's kind of just struggled with consistency and stuff. I mean, what you guys need him to be successful, so like what are you seeing from him, and maybe what's your message to him?
We get questions about him a lot, and it's our whole team. We're all together in the sense of trying to figure out how to win playoff games, and we all have to make adjustments. We all have to play better, considering we're in a 3-1 hole. So there's no sense of isolating him in this situation. It's all about collectively what can we all do to be better, and the conversations we have in film sessions and on the bench in the locker room are all consistent throughout the season, especially in this playoff run of trying to answer that question. So he's a part of that. We're all a part of that. And if we're going to get out of this hole, we all have to play better.
Hey, Steph, Draymond's got a player option for next season. Bob Myers' contract status is up in the air. Do you allow yourself to think about the big picture?
No.
Just a 3-1 series deficit?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Steph, just wanted to ask you about Gary and what he was able, your thoughts of him going into the starting lineup and what was he able to bring?
He gave us a lot. I mean, to go from kind of out of the rotation to starting to, playing 23 minutes. We obviously got a little smaller, but we got faster, so he was able to give us some good looks in the pick and roll. Obviously, defensively, we know what he can do, and offensively, slashing, cutting, making plays, finishing at the rim. Made a huge three in the second half, so it's a testament to how roles can change really quickly with our team, and just trying to stay ready, be ready for your moment. And he's gone through that with us last year, and now that he's been back, being able to understand where he can make an impact. So it's been huge, and it's a testament for everybody on our team, to stay ready. We say it a lot, and it continues to prove itself. So it's the challenge and the opportunity with how we do things.
All right, we got to run, and I'm told we should be back in the building. Not sure why, but let's get out of the building.